Hello students, myself Amrita Dhar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, JIS Group. I will teach you Power System 1. Today we will discuss about insulator. Now this topic is included in module 3 of Power System 1. So what is insulator? You all know what is insulator. An electrical insulator is used in an electrical system to prevent unwanted flow of current to the earth from its supporting points. So the overhead line conductors should be supported on the poles or towers in such a way that conductors from the currents from the conductors do not flow to earth through the supports. That is, line conductors must be properly insulated from the supports. Now this is achieved by securing the line conductor to supports with the help of insulators. So the insulator provides necessary insulation between line conductor and supports and thus prevent any leakage current from the conductors to earth. Next one, properties of insulating material. So the insulating material should have these properties. First one, high mechanical strength. It requires high mechanical strength to withstand the conductor load, wind load. Next, high electrical resistance. It requires high electrical resistance to avoid the leakage current to earth. Next, high relative permittivity so that the dielectric strength is high. Next one, the insulating material should be non-porous, free from impurities, cracks, otherwise the permittivity will be lowered. Last one is the high ratio of puncture strength to flashover. I will discuss about this puncture and flashover in our following slides. So the most commonly used material for insulation of an overhead line is porcelain, but we can use glass or any special composition material or also use. Now porcelain is used by firing at a high temperature or mixture of kaolin, feldspar and quartz. Now porcelain is stronger mechanically than the glass and gives less trouble from leakage and is less affected by the changes of the temperature. So these are the properties of the insulators. So there are different types of insulator we used according to our applications. First one is pin insulator, then shackle insulator, then suspension insulator, last one is strain insulator. So at first we will discuss about pin insulator. A pin insulator is a device that isolates a wire from physical support such as a pin, wooden or metal dowel of about 3 cm with screw threads, okay, as a pin on a telegraph or utility pole. It is a formed single layer shaped that is made out of non-conducting material using porcelain or glass. So it just look like a pin. Now as the name suggests, the pin type insulator is secured to the cross arm on the pole and there is a groove on the upper end of the insulator for housing the conductor. Here the conductor is placed in the groove. The conductor passes through this groove and is bounded by annealed wire of the same material as the conductor. Now pin type insulator are used for transmission and distribution of electric power at voltages up to 33 kV. But beyond 33 kV, the pin type insulator become too bulky and hence uneconomical. So next we discuss about the causes of insulation failure. What is puncture and what is flashover voltage, and what is the safety factor of the insulator. Now insulators are required to withstand both the mechanical and electrical stresses. Okay, the electrical stresses due to the line voltage and many cause the breakdown of the insulator. Now the electrical breakdown of an insulator can occur either by flashover or by puncture. Now in flashover, an arc is between the line conductor and insulator pin, and that is the earth. Okay, and the discharge jumps across the air gaps following the shortest distance. In this figure you can see the arcing distance A plus B plus C for this insulator. Okay. So what is flashover? In flashover, the discharge jumps across the air gap. Okay, it jumps across the air gap. Now in the case of flashover, the insulator will continue to act and its proper capacity unless extreme heat is produced by the arc and destroy the insulator. But in case of puncture, the discharge occurs from the conductor to pin through the body of the insulator. Okay, through the body of the insulator. When such breakdown is involved, the insulator is permanently destroyed due to excessive heat. So sufficient thickness of porcelain is provided in the insulator to avoid the puncture by the line voltage. So what is the ratio of the safety factor? It is the ratio of puncture strength to the flashover voltage. Now it is desirable that the safety factor is high so that flashover can take place before the insulator gets punctured. Okay, now for pin type insulator the value of safety factor is near about 10. So in flashover the insulator is not damaged, but in case of puncture it's damaged totally. So we require that so it necessary that the flashover takes place before than the puncture. Next one is shackle insulator. An insulator that is used in the distribution network that works with the low voltage is known as shackle insulator. This is also known as spool insulator. Now shackle insulator are used at the end of the distribution lines or at sharp turns where there is excessive tensile load on the lines. So it can be worked in two positions like horizontal, otherwise in vertical. At present the uses of this type of insulator has decreased because of the underground cable is used for the distribution purpose. Next one is the suspension insulator. The suspension insulator separates the line conductor and supports them electrically. It consists of a number of porcelain insulator units, first unit, second unit, third unit, okay, like this. Insulator units connected with each other by metal links to form a flexible string. The conductor is connected at the bottom of the string. This is the metal link and this is the porcelain disc. There are lots of advantages of using the suspension insulator. First advantage is suspension insulator are cheaper than pins insulator for the voltage beyond 33 kV. Now each unit or disc of suspension type insulator is designed for low voltage, usually 11 kV. Depending upon the working voltage, the desired number of discs can be connected in series. Suppose we use suspension insulator for 66 kV voltage. So, we need 6 discs, each disc having a voltage rating of 11 kV. The third advantage is if any disc is damaged, then the whole string does not become useless, because the damaged disc can be replaced by the healthy one. Then the suspension arrangement provides the greater flexibility to the line. The connection at the cross arm is such that the insulator string is free to swing in any direction and can take up the position where the mechanical stresses are minimum. Fifth advantage is, in case of increased demand in the transmission line, we can add disc in future. Last one is, the suspension type insulator are generally used with steel tower, as the conductors run below the earth cross arm of the tower. Therefore, this arrangement provides partial protection from the lightning. We discuss various aspects of suspension insulator in our following slides. Now, next one is strain insulator. What is strain insulator? A strain insulator is an electrical insulator that is designed to work in mechanical tension to withstand the pull of suspended electrical wire or cable. They are used in overhead electrical wiring to support radio antennas and overhead power lines. So, a strain insulator may be inserted between two lengths of wire to isolate them electrically from each other while maintaining a mechanical connection, or where attaches to a pole or tower to transmit the pull of the wire to the support while insulating it electrically. Next one, potential distribution over suspension insulator string. A string of suspension insulators consists of a number of porcelain discs connected in series through metallic links. Okay. So, this is our disc and this is the metal links. Therefore, each disc form a capacitance, because between two metal links are conductor, between two conductor there is an insulator. So, it forms a capacitance. Okay. So, this capacitance is known as mutual or self capacitance. Now, if there were mutual capacitance along, then charging current would be same throughout all discs, and consequently the voltage of each unit should be same, that is V by 3. That if the total voltage is V, then the voltage across this disc is V by 3, this disc is V by 3, and it is also same for this disc. But in actual, the capacitance also exists between, you can see in this picture, a capacitance is also formed between a tower and metal link. Now, this is known as the shunt capacitance, because this is conducting and air is the insulating material. So, here a capacitance is formed and it is known as the shunt capacitance. Now, voltage across each disc will be different, because in presence of this shunt capacitance, the voltage is no longer same for each disc, voltage is different, V1, V2 and V3. Okay. So, we can conclude that the voltage impressed on a string of suspension insulator does not distribute itself uniformly due to the shunt capacitance. Second, the disc nearest to the conductor maximum voltage across it, that means V3 is higher than V2 and V1. As we move towards the cross arm, the voltage across each disc decreasing. The unit nearest the conductor is under maximum electrical stress and is likely to be punctured. Therefore, means must be provided to equalize the potential across each string. Now, if the voltage impressed across the string were DC, then the voltage across each unit would be same. Okay, because it is because insulator capacitance are ineffective for DC. Next one is string efficiency, and it is very important. What is the definition of string efficiency? String efficiency is defined as the ratio of voltage across the string to the product of number of string and the voltage across the unit adjacent. Voltage across the string means the whole voltage, that means V1 plus V2 plus V3. N is the number of discs. In this figure there are 3 number of discs, so N is 3. Next one, voltage across disc nearest to the conductor. Here the voltage across the disc nearest to the conductor, this disc is nearest to the conductor and the voltage across this disc is V3 into 100. So this is the percentage of string efficiency. Next, expression for string efficiency. Now this is a 3 disc string, okay, and suppose the self capacitance or mutual capacitance of each disc is C, whereas the shunt capacitance is C1. Now the ratio of shunt capacitance by self capacitance is denoted by a factor K, okay. Now we can write C1 equals to K into C. So the shunt capacitance is some fraction of self capacitance. So we can write C1 equals to Kc1. Now voltage across top string is V1, middle V2, and the voltage across the disc nearest to the conductor is V3. Now applying Kirchhoff's law at node A, we get capital I2 equals to capital I1 plus small I1. Now capital I2 is entering in this node and the outgoing current of this node is small I1 and capital I1, okay. Now in place of I2 we can write V2 omega C. Now we all know that current through capacitor is equal to voltage by capacitive reactance. So V by Xc. Now what is the value of Xc? Xc is 1 by omega C. So in place of Xc we can write 1 by omega C. So it is equal to V omega C. So current through capacitor is equal to V omega C. Now current through this capacitor is I2 and voltage is V2. So we write V2 omega C and the capacitance value of capacitance is C. So we write V2 omega C. Next V1, what is the value of voltage across first disc is V1. V1 omega C and I1 is flowing through capacitance C1. So that's why we write in place of capacitance C1. This is the shunt capacitance, okay, because small I1 is flowing through shunt capacitance. And what is the voltage? Voltage is V1, okay. Now the voltage of the between this tower and this metal link is V1, so we write the voltage is V1. So V2 omega C equal to V1 omega C into V1 omega. In place of C1 we can write Kc. So we can cancel out this omega C. So we get V2 equals to V1 in the first bracket 1 plus K. Next, applying Kirchhoff's law at point B, the incoming current is I3, I2 incoming current is capital I3 and outgoing current is capital I2 and small I2. So I3 equals to capital I2 plus small I2. So V3 again in place of I3 we can write V omega C. The voltage across this string, the disc where I3 current is flowing is V3 and I3 current is flowing through capacitance C. So we write V3 omega C. and I2 is V2 omega C. And what is the value of small I2? The voltage across this point is V1 plus V. So this is the total voltage. This is the total voltage V1 plus V2. So we write in place of the voltage in place of I2 V1 plus V2 into omega into C1, because I2 is flowing through shunt capacitance. So the value of capacitance is C1. Now in place of C1 we can write Kc and cancel out the omega C term. We get V3 equal to V2 plus V1 plus V2 into K. So simplify it, we get V3 equal to V1 1 plus 3K plus K square. Now this is just simplification. In place of V2 we write V2 equals to V1 1 plus K. So we get V3 equal to V1 1 plus 3K plus K square. And what is the value of V3 in terms of V1 and V2? V3 equal to KV1 plus V2 into 1 plus K. And what is the value of V3 in terms of only V1? V3 equals to V1 1 plus 3K plus K square. Here in place of V2 we put this value of V2. Next, so the total voltage is V1 plus V2 plus V3. So V1 is V1, V2 is V1 into 1 plus K. So we put the value of V1, we put the value of V2 here. And what is the value of V3? V1 into 1 plus 3K plus K square. So we put the value of V3. Now taking out V1 common, we get 3 plus 4K plus K square. So V is equal to V1. We can write in this form 3 plus 4K plus K square is equal to 1 plus K into 3 plus K. So V is equal to this. Okay. So from equation 1, 2 and 3 we get this equation. V1 equals to V2 by 1 plus K equals to V3 1 plus 3K plus K square equals to V1 plus K into 3 plus K. So what is string efficiency? Voltage across the string into N into voltage across the nearest disc. So voltage across the nearest disc V3. So we can write this expression, and voltage across string is V. Now before solving problems we have to keep in mind some points, that the maximum voltage appear across the disc nearest to the conductor. Second point is voltage across the string is equal to phase voltage, not line voltage, that is phase voltage. Voltage across the string is equal to phase voltage. Now if we have to calculate the line voltage, just multiply the voltage across string by √3, so we get the value of line voltage. So let's start. First problem is, in a 33 kV overhead line, 3 units in the string of insulator. So N is equal to 3. There are 3 discs. If the capacitance between each insulator pin and earth is 11% of self capacitance of each insulator, so the ratio of shunt capacitance by self capacitance is 11%, that means 0.11. So find the distribution of voltage over 3 insulator and string efficiency. So at first we have to calculate the total voltage across string, that is the phase voltage. I have told you that. So line voltage should be divided by √3, so we can get the voltage across the string, that is 19.05 volt. Now just you can solve this equation, or you can just put the value of V2. What is the value of V2? From previous string efficiency we get the value of V2. V2 is V1 into 1 plus K, and what is the value of V3? V3 is V1 into 1 plus 3K plus K square. So put the value of V2, 1 plus K into V1, that is 1 plus K, value of K is 0.11, so 1 plus 0.11 is 1.11 into V1. And what is the value of V3? V1 into 1 plus 3K. So the value of V3 is 1.342. Now the total voltage is V1 plus V2 plus V3. So V1 plus V2 plus V3 is equal to 3.452 V1. Now what is the value of voltage? V 19.05. From here we can calculate the value of V1 is this. V2 is 1.11 into V1. So put the value of V1, we get the value of V2, and by putting the value of V1 we get the value of V3. So you can see from this results that the unit nearest to the conductor, that is this unit nearest to the conductor, the voltage across this unit nearest to the conductor has the highest voltage, that is 7.4. Then V2, the middle unit voltage is 6.13, and the least voltage across the top unit, that is 5.52 kV. So what is the value of string efficiency? Voltage across the string, that is 19.05 by number of insulators, that is 3, into voltage across the disc nearest to the conductor, that is V3, that is 7.4. So here the string efficiency is 85.8%. Next problem is a 3-phase transmission lines is supported by 3-disc insulator. Again this is a 3-disc insulator, N is equal to 3. The potential across the top unit, that means V1, is equal to 8 kV, and middle unit, that is V2, is equal to 11 kV. Calculate the ratio of capacitance between pin and earth to the self capacitance, that means the value of K. The line voltage, the string efficiency. So what is the value of V2? V2 is 11, and what is the value of V1? V1 is 8. So putting the value of V2 11 and putting the value of V1 8, we can get the value of K 0.375. Now what is the value of V3? If V1 is 8, if K is 0.375, now just put the formula and we get the value of V3 is 18.12. Here they use the formula V2 plus V1 plus V2 into K, but there are lots of formula. You can put this formula, V3 equals to V1 into 1 plus 3K plus K square, and you get the value of V 18.12. Now V3 is this, V1 is 8 and V2 is 11. So voltage across the string is sum of the V1, V2 and V3, and this is equal to 37.12 kV. Now this is the voltage across string, not the line voltage. The voltage across string is the phase voltage, so we have to multiply by √3, so we can get the line voltage, that is 64.28 kV. What is the value of string efficiency? Voltage across the string, that is total voltage 37.12 by number of insulator, that is 3, and V3, what is the value of V3? 18.12. So from this equation, the value of string efficiency is 68.28%. That's all from today's class. If you have any problem, please contact with me. My contact details is given on the first slide. Thank you.